Hello and welcome to the Art of Artisan. I forgot to record my audio when I recorded this intro first, but I did want to ask a quick question of everyone. Are you okay if I play alchemy decks? With Baldur's Gate coming out, there are some interesting artisan decks. I feel like alchemy is actually one of the best places for artisan, but I understand that a lot of people hate it. So if you could let me know in the comments if you would just absolutely hate and not be interested in alchemy content. But if you would like to see some of the cool new cards, please let me know as well. Today we are playing a life gain sacrifice deck. There is only one life gain payoff in this deck, and it is Cleric class. Cleric class, once we get it to level 2, it will give us a +1/+1 counter every time we gain life. So our deck is going to be digging for this card as a late game powerhouse. We've also got classic life gain in Lunarch Veteran, and much less classic life gain in Flesh Taker. Flesh Taker gains us a life whenever we sacrifice a creature and lets us scry one. So this is really a good card when we're building a sacrifice-based deck that also has life gain. It's kind of the glue that holds this deck together. Warlock class is another sacrifice payoff, and there's also quite a few cards in our deck, 10 to be exact, that we can cast or use in our graveyard. And so this card is very valuable as well. But to dig for our Cleric class and our Flesh Takers and get our combos going, we have a total of, let me do math, 9 sacrifice to draw 2 spells. These are really just strong. They're going to trigger our Flesh Taker. They're going to make sure we get our combos going. And then obviously we need to have sacrifice fodder. Clarion Spirit, with all these card draw spells and our super low curve, is fairly often going to get triggered. We've got card draw on creatures, Spirited Companion and Inspiring Overseer, Ghoulish Procession, a fairly consistent source of sacrifice fodder, and lastly Persistent Specimen, which is kind of only good because we're using Warlock class, but this can recur from our graveyard over and over and can actually make a pretty powerful late game engine. We've also got Interaction in our deck. Rite of Oblivion, once again, works well with Warlock class where we're milling ourselves, and Kabira Takedown just as a land that occasionally will come up as good removal. We've got a fairly light mana base just because of how many cards we're drawing. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus that 15, 17, 18, no, 17. We've got 17 card draw spells in our deck, so we shouldn't have trouble hitting our land drops. And that is Necromancer class. I already recorded the video before I realized that I didn't have the audio for this, so I already know how the deck does, but I hope you guys enjoy finding out whether this is a bit of a meme deck trying to mix together life gain and sacrifice, or if it's actually a really good strategy. So let's get to the games and find out. My audio was turned off. My audio was turned off and we just beat Esper. I'm still including that. I'm including that in the video. I'm 100% including that game even if I didn't have any audio for it. Oh, I'm such a dummy. And now we're drawing badly. I go first, which means I don't have a chance to draw into black, really. Okay, this is a hand that can dig us out. We dump Cleric class, even though it's a core part of our deck. Or do we just dump Flesh Taker, Inspiring Overseer? I think that's better. And we'll lead off with Lunarch Veteran. Oh, that hurts so much. I've recorded 3 whole games without the audio. Right, Cleric class, and discard Barons to gain us 2 life. Our opponent's playing something green-white, but it also looks mid-range, so I'm guessing Naya. No, Bant. Brokers. Sweet, that's what we want to see. Swing in with the Lunarch Veteran. Opponent takes it. I think they've got like Negate up. If it's Terraria Disruption, that hurts, but if it's Negate, we're fine. Sweet. Bellstinger sacks Lunarch Veteran. We just want to keep our clock as powerful as possible. Don't draw any more lands. Okay, Fateful Absence. Opponent. Drawing a black source would be our best draw. Oh, Bant Magecraft. Okay. We're kind of desperate for lands here. So I'm going to play out Warlock class because next turn it can hit a land. And actually I should have sacrificed the clue. We'll just sacrifice the clue end step. Oh no we won't, because we might hit a land with it. So we're just going to do it now. Hit a land? Nope. Although that is a great card against a Magecraft deck. Okay, if my opponent is cultured, that card is Kaya's Onslaught. Kaya's Onslaught is the coolest card in these Magecraft decks. If you're going to be foretelling anything, it better be that. Oh, please don't counter this. Okay, good. Lunarch Veteran, Luminous Phantom. Give us a chump blocker for the turn. Opponent probably has another Fateful Absence. They seem to be a removal-based build. Oh, okay, that's fine. We can just recast that next turn. We've got a decent amount of life gain, which means if they are going for like a 1-turn kill double strike plan. Okay, the opponent is still cultured. That is not a normal card to see from these decks, and I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, we're gonna have to just kill that, and it's gonna draw our opponent a card. Well played, opponent. We'll swing in. See if our opponent does anything. Okay. And draw our opponent a card. Hopefully they do not have Spell Pierce up. That would be brutal here. Please, no Spell Pierce. We're also giving them a draw into Spell Pierce, maybe. Gain 2 life, thanks to this Cleric class. And Spell Pierce. Wow. Okay. That puts us in a pretty bad situation, actually. As does that. Wow. We're really gonna need this Fellstinger to block either of their creatures. They're probably gonna have removal for it, though. We'll see, though. Okay. Lunarch Veteran gains us more life. Persistent Specimen means we don't have to sacrifice our flyer. But I think sacrificing the flyer is better. this a counter spell? Do they have a creature counter spell? Okay, good. Now, if they're smart, they'll kill. Okay. You can kill Felstinger in response to the trigger to prevent me from drawing cards. I'll know beforehand, so I won't like sacrifice anything. But okay. And I'm not going to be blocking with this. This is life gain for me, and life gain is essential right now. Opponent's got a way better board, but we are technically winning on life. We've got a Rite of Oblivion in our pocket that can go with this Persistent Specimen. Hopefully we can kill the Battle Mammoth this time. Fight spell. No, Fading Hope. Ooh, Forced Chump Block. Maybe. We may be forced to chump block here, and that's a little rough. Although we still gain life. Luminous Phantom triggers off of leaving the battlefield. Gosh, that's brutal. Yeah, I'm not sure we can keep up with Battle Mammoths. Not a card I was planning to need to play around. We'll play a Lunarch Veteran. We'll play a Persistent Specimen. We'll play a Spirited Companion. Should have done the Companion first in case we draw a land. Play the second Companion. Oh well, this actually just means we're safer. We'll swing in. Pokia. We gain 4 life off of each creature that dies, which is kind of nice. So we can just like multi-block here. Actually, I'm going to save the Spirited Companion. Actually, no, because if our opponent has a removal spell, then we're dead. Oh no, we wouldn't be dead because Luminous Phantom life gain. Okay, time to gain a bunch of life. Boo-doo-doo. If we if we had time to turn on Cleric class here, this would be so much better. Flesh Taker. Flesh Taker, turn on this. We don't have enough lands. Unless Spirited Companion draws us into a land, then we have a cool line here. Not the right land. We can survive one more turn doing this. Okay. Scarred Barrens gains us a life. We're going to pump up a Luminous Phantom. And we're going to attack with the pumped up one. We can chump block the Dragon Guard Elite. Oh my goodness, are we going to stabilize this? Are we just going to gain so much life that our opponent can't win with 12 trampling power? It's starting to look like it. Bet you they wish they had Kaya's Onslaught now. That would have killed us forever ago. Okay, we're gaining so much life. This Phantom's going to be a giant blocker. Ghoulish Procession. Is that good? That is kind of, and it's a way that we can trigger our Clerics class some more. We can grab Clarion Spirit here with Cleric class and then play Flesh Taker, but that won't trigger Clarion Spirit. And return this to the battlefield tapped. That's not good enough. We can draw our opponent a bunch of cards trying to kill something. I think we start off with this. I think we need to draw cards. What do we hit? Something that's a good Felstinger, I guess. Okay, we got a Felstinger. We can now play Flesh Taker. Oh, actually, would Felstinger sacrificing itself do anything good? Kind of. Yes. That means Luminous Phantom is a big blocker. I think we do that. Yeah, sacrifice yourself. Gain us a bunch of life. Oh shoot, should I have targeted the opponent? Oh no, if I targeted the opponent, I had lethal. Granted, they probably would have drawn a removal spell, but oh, I could have maybe had lethal there. Rite of Oblivion, actually just gonna bottom. I need sacrifice fodder now more than anything. Oh, that sucks. Um, Swinging with the Luminous Phantom, I guess. Actually, I think it needs to be back on chump block duty now. No attacks. Okay, but our opponent is close to dead. Oh man, I think we had them there. If they don't have a removal spell here, it means that we probably could have won last turn. Luminous Phantom block. What do you got, opponent? Nothing? Nothing? They would have killed our Luminous Phantom if that was lethal for them. Okay. Target the Phantom. Can we pull this out? Is it a fight spell? We win! Wow. We just... That was some grindy value. We just stopped trying to remove our opponent's stuff and chump blocked and gained so much life that our opponent's 12 trampling damage every turn didn't matter. Wow. Let's go to game 5. Game 5 versus Rooker. Wait, Rooker? No. After last game, I'm not sure that there's any point in playing this 5th game. I mean, that showed the deck being incredible. This is a little bit awkward, but I think we're going to keep it and just hope that Warlock class draws us into something good. Oh gosh, that confused me for a second. But yeah, after recording the first 3 games without audio, I'm a little bit tired of recording right now, and so I may just call it quits after this game and keep the video short. Youthful Valkyrie. Okay, this is one of the matchups we lost in the videos that I'm not going to be showing. I guess we'll just Scoured Barons. Second Warlock class. We need to get Rite of Oblivion online if we want to beat our opponent here. Okay, Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Hits us for 1. I think we're okay waiting 1 turn on the Rite of Oblivion. Get all the value we can out of these Warlock classes. I think another Rite of Oblivion is where we want to be. And Scoured Barons. Pass to the opponent. Because Angel decks die to removal. Like if we just remove, then they can't do much. Starnheim Aspirant. I think we're okay letting that stay in play as long as we just kill whatever angels they play off of it. I hope. I hope that's correct. I mean, it's also one of the easiest threats to Kabira Takedown. We'll draw with this Warlock class. And I think if we do start removing enough stuff, Cleric class is going to be our best bet here. But this gives us a creature to sacrifice. But I like Cleric class more. We're playing a class deck. And we will Rite of Oblivion, get rid of a Youthful Valkyrie, take advantage of our Warlock class that's kind of not useful right now. Pass to you. Righteous Valkyrie, that's okay. Inspiring Overseer, that's less okay. Card draw for our opponent, and these cheap creatures are hard when we're doing 1-for-1 removal. Granted, we can just block that with the Lunarch Veteran, so I guess it's fine. Okay, swinging in. It doesn't look like they have anything that they're leaving up, so I think we're fine to Cleric class. They've got nothing. Okay, Lunarch Veteran, and Rite of Oblivion. Goodbye, Righteous Valkyrie. Goodbye, Warlock class. And we are out of Warlock classes in the deck now. We have played both of them. And our opponent is doing pretty well. Ooh, they're doing real well now. We do have Rite of Oblivion for that. So we'll probably just have to take this and go for a Rite of Oblivion. Oh, sweet, that's the perfect draw. That gives us something to sacrifice for our Rite of Oblivion. Goodbye, Lisa. And I gain 2 life. Nice. And I think I'm keeping around the Luminous Phantom for the very least as something to sacrifice to Rite of Oblivion, so I'm okay getting in there for just Retribution. Okay. Second Cleric class, not great. We can Lunarch Veteran and Cleric class and pump up a Cleric class, but then we lose everything to Ferge's Retribution and that Angel. We can play Cleric class and just sacrifice it to Rite of Oblivion, and then Lunarch Veteran. Or Kabira Takedown, get rid of the Overseer. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Okay, you go away. Sacrificing a Cleric class. And Kabira Takedown. You go away. And here's the interactive side of our deck compared to most life gain decks, really shining. Most of the time, if we were playing a life gain deck and our opponent just started going bigger than us, we'd have nothing we could do. Oh, dang it! That's another must-kill threat, and we are out of killing cards. Deadly Dispute, not great. We're gonna turn up the Cleric class, play a Luminous Phantom, and no attacks. Really want to draw Sacrifice Fodder here. Although if I don't, I can... Oh, there's nothing to return. Oh, shoot. We're just gonna have to take this. Alrighty, not looking good here in our last game. That's Sacrifice Fodder. That's great Sacrifice Fodder. And that's a lot of life gain for us. Sacrifice. Gain us 4 life. Turn one of our Luminous Phantoms into a 3/3 so that we can start blocking profitably. Gain life, see what we draw into. Some sort of cheap creature that we can sacrifice again would probably be best, because then we can turn the other Luminous Phantom into a 3/3. Clarion Spirit. That's not really sacrificable, but it is good. So I think I run out Luminous Phantom and Clarion Spirit. And if I'm desperate, like if the opponent fires up Hive of the Eye Tyrant, we can always sacrifice something to Deadly Dispute and then pump up one of our creatures. So we'll probably like block each of their creatures individually, let the Hive of the Eye Tyrant come in, and then sacrifice a Luminous Phantom. That should be good. I think we're going to stabilize again. Oh, this is sweet. Hagra Mauling. Okay, that's kind of fine. We will Deadly Dispute it. Just to get the value here. It does mean that we only have one good blocker now, though. But we do gain enough life that I think we can just stall for another turn. Oh, man. Oh, sweet. That is what we like to see. Elspeth. Oh, yikes. Okay, they're pumping up Gaida. Giada. Giada. I've been listening to Saffron Olive too much. He pronounces everything wrong. Gave it first strike as well. Okay, but opponent's scared to get in too much. This next turn, we're going to get a bunch of chump blockers, and then our chump blockers will trigger Cleric classes. This is going to be so good. Oh, this is even better, actually. Actually, I think we just turn on another Cleric class. Yeah. Get a bunch of chump blockers. Turn on Cleric class. And I'm feeling safe here. What's really nice here is that Gaida, Giada only has, well, it has first strike, which means we can take advantage of it during combat. And, okay, I don't know here. Like, we've got value engines going on both sides of the battlefield. We have nothing in our graveyard worth reanimating still. We will block that. We will pump up one of our creatures for 4. Elspeth is going to ultimate eventually, though. And we do need to kill Elspeth before then. We will get a couple of 3/3s on the battlefield first, though. And actually, we want a 4/4. I know, a 5/5. In fact, we'd want it to be a 6/6, now that I think about it. Or even a 7/7 to block Giada. Doesn't matter, we're going to be getting a lot of life this turn. Our opponent does not seem to be a deck that likes to play removal. We're just going to spread out the counters a little bit. Land. Lame. Okay, so this should make it so that it's hard for our opponent to get in with either creature, and it should be hard for our opponent to kill anything with this Verge's Retribution besides Clarion Spirits, but we're okay with that because we can reanimate with Warlock class. Do we attack in? We could double attack in at Elspeth, knock her down a peg. Ultimate is about to happen, and then they'll all have double strike. We have to get in at Elspeth. Okay, opponent, what do you got? How are you blocking this? Probably their best play is just double block the Luminous Phantom. It's a 7/7. The other plan is to just not block. I love that plan. Go for that plan, opponent. I mean, we can't let Elspeth ultimate right before they're going to get a bunch of... Yeah, okay, they made the right call here. We'll kill Giada over the warrior. Yeah, Giada's the bigger threat here with the life link and everything. I wish we could have gained a bunch of life at instant speed and just ruined the opponent's day there. That would have been sweet. Okay, we're going to pump you up so you're out of range, because this is less than. And then we'll pump you up just because. And there's nothing to return. None to return. End turn. Okay. They get to remove one of our creatures. The vigilance on that is really annoying, though. First strike, I'm guessing? Yep. Okay, first strike is actually good for us, though. Because it does mean we can mess with them during combat. Oh, please mess up and just tap it now. Tap that angel. Wow, they just wanted to get rid of Clarion Spirit. And they threw away... Okay, you've got 3 loyalty right now. Pump up a Clarion Spirit. Pump up just a normal spirit. We've got so much life at this point. Oh, I'm loving this. Oh, Giada. Of course they have another Giada. Well, luckily we're going to be able to kill Elspeth this turn, regardless of what happens. We will fire off Cleric class. Get back a Clarion Spirit, which gains us enough life that we can pump you up and pump you up. So that now you can block the 6/6 Angel. And we will swing in. We'll take some damage from their Angel this next turn. A lot of damage considering they're getting double strike. But we are going to finally kill Elspeth. There's nothing they can do about it. They're out of cards in hand. Goodbye, Elspeth. And pass to you, opponent. Our best draw would be Sacrifice Spell. Sacrifice Spell could let us double spell, get Clarion Spirit going, trigger Luminous Phantom. We're going to get hit for a lot of damage here. 16 to be exact. No blocks for obvious reasons. I mean, we could block 12 of the damage, but I don't think this game's really going to be won as much by damage. Oh, sweet. That is the card we wanted to see. Bellstinger. This is going to gain us more life than it will lose us. Sacrifice a spirit. Kind of a waste to put a +1/+1 counter on it. Target ourselves. Gain 3 life. Start pumping up Inspiring Overseer and Luminous Phantom some more, just in case the opponent gets another Elspeth. Please. Oh, yes. Okay. I think this turn we're just gonna fire off a second Fellstinger, sacrificing itself, or sacrificing a spirit. We're gonna have spirits. And I think that wraps up the game. I don't think our opponent can come back from this. Oh, this is sweet. So much value here. Okay, we're going to pump up our Inspiring Overseer to a point where it's a good blocker. Start pumping up Clarion Spirit. Just spread out our damage as much as we can. Spirited Companion. I kind of want to save stuff for our Clarion Spirits, but it's hard to throw away so much mana. Do I run it out? I think all that I'm going to do to finish this turn is Rite of Oblivion this. Sacrificing a treasure. Hit the opponent with that. And play out a land. And swing in with Luminous Phantom and Inspiring Overseer. We are now the beatdown. Finally, with our opponent at 28 life. Down to 14. And we have lethal next turn unless they do something. We have very much lethal because we have a bunch of ground creatures too. And we win! Alright. Well, I'm only gonna show 3 games in the video, but we showed that we could even beat Orzhov Angels, which was our only loss. So I was very happy with this win. Wow. This deck is full of comebacks. Let's get to the deck wrap-up. 4-1. And boy, did we have some sweet games. I'm sorry that I only got to show you 3 of them because of the audio issues, but this was a fantastic deck to play. It reminded me of Skydirtle, just in that we had a bunch of stuff to do in the late game. It was so much fun to play. Lots of decision making as well with how to spend our mana with these classes, and I think that really adds some depth to the game. But I don't know what I'd change in the deck. Warlock class performed surprisingly well with Rite of Oblivion. I think a lot of people got excited about the level 3 on this, but I actually think it's the worst part of it. I like it just as something similar to Omen of the Sea. If you know that card, it's just an enchantment that draws you a card and scries 2. And this serves a similar purpose of just drawing us a card, and then we can Rite of Oblivion it away. And so this overperformed Cleric class. We got to see all 3 levels of it be extremely significant. And so this deck definitely is well built around it. Flesh Taker, we didn't get to see that often in games, but it did definitely be enough of a threat that our opponent wanted to kill it. I don't know what I'd change on the deck list. It felt perfect, honestly. The lands were just about right. We had a little bit of a scare a few games where we started off slow. That might actually mean we need some more MDFCs in the deck. That way, in the late game, we're drawing cards and we can use them. And in the early game, we consistently at least have enough lands to start our engines going. So that might be one change I make to this. There's nothing really interesting if you're going to do a sideboard, except maybe Dawnbringer Cleric, just as a destroy target enchantment that also can gain life. But really, it's not that exciting of a card. As far as upgrades to the deck, I'm still not even sure if there's any upgrades I'd make if I was going into rares and mythics. This deck is functioning exactly how it's supposed to, and it doesn't feel that clunky at all. Maybe a Meathook Massacre or two. Meathook Massacre is such a good card. But that is Necromancer class for standard. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give a like or a subscribe. I know YouTubers say that a lot, but it actually does help a lot to get the channel to grow. It'll help other people to see these sweet brews. And with that, I hope y'all keep enjoying Budget Magic.